It's that time again, as Monarch Radio brings you back to those golden days before television, when radio was the main source of family entertainment in the home. Stay tuned for another one of those drama or comedy episodes from way back when, as performed by the Monarch old-time radio players.
Margaret Frances Lynch, aka Peg Lynch, was an American writer, actress, and creator of the radio and television sitcoms Ethel and Albert, The Couple Next Door, and The Little Things in Life. She was the first woman that created, wrote, starred in, and owned her own sitcom. She retained that ownership throughout her life. She wrote over 11,000 radio and TV scripts during her career. Her first radio series, The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert, first aired in 1938 and co-starred Alan Bunce. This morning, it's Monarch Radio's pleasure to present one of those earlier episodes, Mildred Paulson's Overshoes, as performed by the Monarch old-time radio players. Let's listen. The small, trivial things that happen in the routine of everyday life are familiar to everyone, and it's these little things that make up the private lives of Ethel and Albert. Today, we find that Albert is on his way to a business convention, and Ethel is watching out the window for the taxi to come. It's not nice to eavesdrop, but it is fun. So let's peek through the keyhole.
Albert, there's a car coming down the road. I think it's your taxi. Yes, it is. It's a taxi. Albert!
Yes, I'm coming. Where's my coat? My coat.
I'm holding it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice.
Calm down.
You know me. I always get nervous when I have to get up in front of people. I hate giving a speech.
You'll be fine. You always are. You've got a long train ride ahead of you. It will give you a chance to look everything over.
Ugh. Ah.
What are you doing? Wrong sleeve. Take your arm out.
Well, maybe I don't need a top coat.
Leave it on. You can't travel without a coat. What if there's a blizzard?
In April in Atlanta?
Just take it. Take it. You never know.
Where's my briefcase? That's more important. It has my speech in it.
Why don't you try to relax? You have loads of time.
Wait a minute. I want to check my briefcase. Make sure I've got all the reports for the meeting and my speech.
Darling, you'll be fine. Probably be the hit of the convention.
I hate these business trips.
Oh, you love them. Now, you got money?
Yes.
Got your train ticket?
Yes, everything. Now you take care of yourself.
I will. You take care of yourself, and you have a good time.
I'm not going for a good time. It's just business.
Call me the minute you get there.
I will.
Give me a kiss. I'll miss you.
Oh, I'll miss you too.
Oh, no, you won't. You're going to be so busy with your business, you aren't going to miss me at all.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't. I know it.
I will miss you. Okay, I'll miss you.
Okay, all right. Now, you got everything?
Briefcase. Where's my briefcase? Oh, I just had it in my hand.
It's right here. It's right here.
Yeah, it's got my speech in it, you know. It's the reason I'm going. If I don't have my speech.
Well, you have it. Now, don't leave it on the train.
Lord, no.
Now, good luck, dear. Call me when you get there.
I will.
Call me.
I will. Now give me a kiss.
Good luck, dear. Good luck.
Goodbye.
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 Goodbye, dear. You look wonderful. Very handsome. Wish I were going with you. Have a good time, dear.
What? Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the matter?
Well, it's not my taxi. It's for the Pattersons.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, come on back in.
It was for the Pattersons.
I'll bet Jeanette's mother's going back to Omaha.
Oh, I don't know, but the taxi's not for me anyhow. Where do you suppose my taxi is?
It'll be here. You'll have plenty of time. Come back inside.
All right.
And close the door so the heat doesn't go out. No sense in taking your coat and hat off. Come on in, sit down.
Oh, yeah.
And relax.
Oh, yeah.
Don't worry. I told the taxi people you were catching the 9:56 train, and they said somebody would be here in plenty of time.
Fine, fine.
Well, you're all set anyhow. You have enough money?
Yep.
And you have your ticket?
Oh, yeah, right here.
Good. Well, you take care of yourself.
And you take care of yourself, too.
I will. Well, I don't see any taxi coming down the street. But I'm sure it won't be long, though.
Getting hot with my hat and coat on.
Leave it on, dear. Leave it on so you don't have to rush at the last minute.
Well, that's true.
You sure you have enough money?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Fine. And your ticket? Check your pocket again just to make sure.
Yep, right here.
Good. Well, have a good time.
I will. Well, I'm not going for a good time. I'm going to a business convention. Hardly a good time.
Well,
Now you take care of yourself.
I will.
Lock the doors at night.
I will. Well, I'll miss you.
Well, I'll miss you too.
And have a good time.
I'm not going for a good time. It's just a convention. Lots of meetings.
And give my love to Mildred.
Yeah. Mildred who?
Mildred Paulson, when you see her in Chicago.
I won't be seeing anybody in Chicago. I'm going to be dashing from one station to another to make connections for Cincinnati.
I know, dear, but you'll see Mildred for just a minute. And I meant, give her my love when you give her the galoshes.
Give her those galoshes? What in the heck are you talking about?
Well, what are you talking about? Didn't you pack them?
Pack what?
Mildred Paulson's galoshes.
I most certainly did not pack Mildred Paulson's galoshes. I don't even know who she is.
Myra Pemberton's sister. You met her.
Well, I don't remember.
She was visiting Myra last week from Chicago, and she left her galoshes. Myra knew you were going through Chicago, and she said, would Albert take the galoshes to Mildred? And I asked you, and you said you would.
I never said.
I asked you, and you said yes.
I never heard you say anything about.
Honestly, Albert, you just don't listen.
Look, it doesn't matter now. I won't have time anyway.
I'll get them. I put them right upstairs by your suitcase, so you pack them.
I haven't got time to deliver anything to anybody in Chicago.
But it's all arranged.
What is all arranged?
Oh, honestly, Albert, I explained it all to you at breakfast this morning. You know, you just don't listen. Never mind. I'll go upstairs and get the galoshes.
Wait a minute, Ethel. Now don't go running upstairs to get anything. First of all, I don't have any room for anything else in my suitcase. Certainly no room for galoshes. Ethel.
I'll get them.
Ethel, now listen. Don't bother. Just don't bother. Do you hear me?
I hear you, but it's not going to be any bother.
I've heard that before. Now listen.
I hear you, but it's not going to be any bother. It's all worked out.
I'm only going to be in Chicago for a few minutes. I've got exactly 40 minutes to get across town from the LaSalle Street station to the Union station. I won't have any time to go taking any galoshes or anything else to anybody. I'll be lucky to get a cab and make connections. Ethel, don't bother.
It's no bother. We've got it all worked out. It won't take any of your time. Open your suitcase.
No.
I'll do it. Let go.
The taxi's going to be here any minute.
Well, it's not here yet, and this won't take me a second.
Don't put those dirty overshoes on my clean shirt.
They're not dirty, and I'll put them right here where you can get at them. Newspaper. Hand me a newspaper.
Look, the taxi's going to be here any minute. Ethel, I've got 40 minutes between trains in Chicago to get from one station to another, and I will be half crazy.
You'll make it. It's all arranged, and it won't take you a minute if you'll just concentrate. Now, when you walk off the train in Chicago, just go through the gates, and Mildred is going to be standing there ready to take the galoshes. Now, what is so complicated about that?
Well, maybe
However, if she is not there.
There, that is what's going to happen. She won't be there. I won't know what to do, and that's always what happens.
Relax. If she misses you in the crowd, go straight ahead until you come to a small coffee shop in the station. Go around the corner, and there is a small newsstand, and Mildred will be standing right there. She said she'd stand in front of the cigar so you'll know her.
Why does she smoke cigars?
Oh, don't be silly. Anyhow, she'll know you. She thought you were just wonderful, and she thinks it's just so sweet and dear of you to bring her galoshes to her.
I don't remember even meeting Mildred Paulson.
Well, you did. Now, I'm putting the overshoes right on top here, so all you have to do is open the suitcase. Sit down, will you, so you can pay attention.
I have never even heard of Mildred Paulson. Where is my taxi?
You met her at the church bazaar. Now, if by the wildest chance Mildred is not at the cigar stand, and she's going to try to be there, but she is club mother this week, and she said she
is what?
Listen, please. Cub mother. Boy Scouts. Cubs. And it seems that she is a cub mother this week, and she has to round up some cubs and take them to a meeting, and she's sure she'll get to the station in time. But if she's not there, you are to call Stanley.
Listen, I will not have time to... Who is Stanley?
Her husband. Why do you pack your suitcase this way? I wish you would let me do it.
Leave it alone, please. I know where everything is.
Now listen. Stanley is Mildred's husband. You got that?
I don't know what I've got. I wish you'd stop discombobulating and transmogrifying all my clothes.
I'm not. Just putting these overshoes on top. Now, please listen so you get it straight.
The taxi's going to be here. My suitcase is going to be a mess.
Look, here, right in the overshoe. Here is Stanley's number.
What?
Stanley's number. Mildred's husband, his office number. I am putting it right in the overshoe, right here. Now, call Stanley if Mildred is not there. He's in real estate, and this is his office number. He is sure to be there unless his mother, who has been visiting there, decides to go back to Denver this Wednesday instead of next Wednesday. Are you listening?
Not really, no.
Albert, don't be like that.
Look.
Mildred's mother doesn't know whether or not she's going to go this Wednesday or next Wednesday because she's building a house. And if the ground is too soft to start digging...
Ethel.
Well, if the ground is too soft to start digging, they'll wait. But if the men can start, she's flying back today, and Stanley will have to take her to the airport. So if Stanley is not in the office, you are to ask for a Mr. Edwards, who will know who you are, and he will send the office boy over to the train station. Will you look at me so that I know you're listening?
Ethel.
Now, the office boy will go to the coffee shop, and he will order 2 raised donuts and a cup of coffee, so you'll know him.
What?
It was the only way Mildred and I could think of to identify him. He always wears a sweater, so there was no place to put a flower in a buttonhole. So go to the coffee shop at the Union Station and look for a 15-year-old boy eating 2 raised donuts and a cup of coffee. What's the matter?
What in Sam Hill are you talking about?
I explained all this to you at breakfast. What were you doing?
I was thinking about the speech I'm going to have to make at the meeting.
Albert, you cannot tell me that you have not heard something about Mildred Paulson's overshoes.
Well, yes. Now that you go on about it, I guess I have heard something. But I didn't pay any attention because I certainly had no intention of... What are you doing?
I can't get the suitcase closed. Push down on this side of it.
No, that settles it.
It won't close.
That settles it. I'm not going to take those darn overshoes.
Don't yank them out like that.
I am not taking them. That's final. I am not taking them.
All right. Of course, I said you would, and I told Myra, and she phoned Mildred, and Mildred phoned back from Chicago, and all these arrangements have been made.
Can't Myra mail these galoshes to Mildred?
It's so much bother. And as Myra said, you're going through Chicago.
Look at the bother it is to me.
What bother? All right. Just forget the whole thing.
Why is it that you can't go on a trip without somebody asking you to take something to somebody or to call somebody you barely know just to say hello?
Oh, that's another thing.
Forget it. I'm not calling anybody. I'm not taking anything.
Forget it. Just forget it. Forget it.
Look, sweetheart, let's face it.
Forget it.
Mildred won't be there. You know how these things go. And then I'll call whatever his name is.
Stanley,
and he won't be there.
He's not supposed to be there. You call him at his office.
All right, so he won't be at his office, or he'll be busy and he'll wonder why in blue blazes this total stranger is calling him up to talk about his wife's overshoes.
I said forget it. You don't have to do one darn thing. I'll tell Myra you didn't want to and that you didn't feel like bothering.
Oh, that's nice. Makes me look like a heel.
Well, what do you want me to say? Myra and Harold have always been so lovely to us.
Harold borrowed my ladder 2 weeks ago and he hasn't even brought it back.
Oh, forget the ladder.
Look out the window. There it is, leaning right up against his house.
When Mother was sick and I went home for a week, Myra either invited you to dinner every night or brought dinner over to you. She was wonderful.
There's the taxi.
Are you taking the galoshes or not?
Yes. All right, I'll take them, but not in my suitcase.
All right. Well, wrap them up in some newspaper.
Haven't we got any big paper sacks?
Grocery sacks? No, I used the last one.
Get some string. I'll wrap them up in this newspaper. String.
Yes, I'll get some.
Oh, golly. Come in.
Taxi?
Yes, please come in.
Are you all set? Oh, just one suitcase?
Yes.
Here, never mind the newspaper, dear. I found this grocery sack. Just put the galoshes in here.
Oh, I don't think you'll need galoshes. It's spring.
They're not his. He's taking them to Mildred Paulson. She's a sister of the lady across the street. Mildred was visiting and...
Ethel, honey, he doesn't care all about that.
I was just explaining. What are you doing?
I'm trying to get the galoshes in the sack. You've left something in the sack.
Well, there's a quart of watermelon pickles, honey. Give those to Mildred, too.
Watermelon pickles?
Mildred was crazy about them, and I meant to give them to her when she was here, but I forgot. So now I've wrapped the jar carefully, but hold the sack upright because the syrup is very sticky if it breaks.
I am not carrying pickles. Now,
Aren't you catching the 9:56? We better get a move on.
Yes, wait a minute now. Have you got everything straight? Mildred will be at the gate. If not, look for her at the cigar stand. And if she is not there, call Stanley. The number is in the overshoe. If he's not there, then ask for Mr. Edwards. And if worst comes to worst, the office boy will meet you in the coffee shop in the Union Station. He'll be eating 2 raised donuts. Just give him the overshoes and the watermelon pickles. You think you've got that straight?
Yes. Mildred at the gate.
Or at the cigar stand.
Yeah, I phoned Stanley, and if he's not there, I asked for, the office boy.
No, Mr. Edwards.
Otherwise, the office boy will meet me at Union Station.
In the coffee shop.
Oh, my goodness. I wish you were going with him.
You learn to remember directions when you drive a cab. Now you better step on it if you want to make the train. I'll get the suitcase.
Okay, goodbye. I love you.
Goodbye. I love you too. Bye-bye. Don't slam it. Oh, well. Hello. Well, I was standing right by the phone in the hall here just saying goodbye to Albert. Taxi. No, he didn't mind about the galoshes at all. He was very sweet about it. Oh, hold on, Myra. Oh, they're gone. Myra, is your car there? Get it out. Ours is at the garage getting greased or something. Albert forgot his briefcase and it has his speech. If we hurry, we can just make it to the train. Oh, I'll never hear the end of this. He is going to be hysterical.
The Private Lives of Ethel and Albert was written by Peg Lynch Featured in today's show were yours truly, Maureen Wishner, as the announcer, Karen Steves as Ethel, Bill Steves as Albert, and Howard Wishner as the driver. Due to current shelter-in-place requirements, our recreations were conducted remotely, where each cast member was located in their respective homes. The show was recorded and edited by Judy Katz and directed by Howard Wishner. Casting and script selections were provided by Maureen Wishner.